Thank you for joining this post-match press conference after the Seattle Sounders FC and LAFC match. We are here with Coach Brian Schmetzer. We'll start with questions in the room and then via Zoom. Coach, any opening statements? All right, let's go with questions then, please. Jeremiah, please.
After the last game, you talked about needing to avoid mistakes, having to sort of play a perfect game. You guys make some mistakes early on in this one. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do with that?
The first goal, I mean, Alex is too worried about Bawanga inside. We worked on shifting of the back four in training during the week. Long diagonal ball, that goal number one. Second goal, same exact thing that happened the last game, a set piece. The clearance, we got the clearance this time, but as you push up, you always mark. And then the third goal was a mirror image of the third goal that they scored. Same thing, Jeremiah. Same exact thing. We couldn't afford to give that team of that caliber 2 goals to let them dictate how we play. So not sure how to really answer that question other than we'll get back, we're going to take 2 days off, and we're going to have to get right back up on the horse because we've got Minnesota who's improved, and then we've got another chance to make a statement against the LAFC.
Brian, you guys were caught on the counter 5 times. What was it about that LAFC did today that prevented you guys from applying what you worked on in practice?
I'm not so sure it was anything that they did. That's who they are. It was not a performance up to our standard. That's what I would say. In the first 10 minutes, it looked like, we had some nervous energy. The defending, a little bit nervous, a little bit nervy.
Recording in progress.
Couldn't establish possession in their half of the field. Gave away some balls. Team just looked a little nervous.
Brian, do you feel though, after all of the training, film, looking at this team, focusing on this team, that it can turn around though, because it seems like you said. It seems like there's a lot of repetition. Obviously, you don't have any new players maybe to help with the change, or how does that kind of? What is the outlook for you?
We went back through it, Jada. It's a fair question. What are we going to do? How are we going to solve this? In the history of this club, for a time being there, the Galaxy were kind of our nemesis. We couldn't get over that hump. There were a couple of games, maybe 2014, my memory's serving me correct, but it really wasn't until 2016. I remember Ozzy scoring a goal down there at StubHub, and we beat him, and we were able to overcome that team. RSL has been kind of a bogey team for us, and mixed results. LAFC is certainly a team that has had our number. And so how do we solve it? We needed to send a message in the second half. The challenge at halftime was to score 1 goal against this team, and maybe that is the first step. If it's not a goal, then it's creating 5 or 6 really clear opportunities, not the half chances that we had tonight, but really good so that we could carry something with us into the Open Cup. And then if it's not creating chances, then it's just the physical duels that we needed to have to send a message because they're too comfortable. That team looks way too comfortable on our home field.
Along that line with wanting to at least get 1 goal, there were a lot of substitutes, and then obviously a stretcher was brought out. Were you at all upset that the referee called the match
No.
instead of giving you any?
No.
We'll go with one question here with Nico, then Jose. We have one in Zoom.
Brian, offensively, what didn't work that didn't allow this team to create solid chances and not half chances?
Getting scored on early, having their opponent, which they're good at, get into their deep, low block, and not preventing us from getting any clear looks on goal in the first half. You can't give up goals against LAFC early. They can then control the game, and we gave them 2.
And when it comes to the message, whether it's now or afterwards, to this group, that they had some positive results, they had some positive moments throughout this League's Cup. How do you balance that? How do you kind of bring that up to them on what's the final result at the end of the day?
I told them they were a good team. I mean, there was a lot of teams that went out in the tournament earlier than us. So they put a lot of effort into this tournament, and I commend them for that. That's the story of this club. We always want to try and compete in every tournament, every opportunity to play for something. And so you have to give them credit, because the team actually beat some good teams along the way. But this just, it ends in a thud. It just ends in just a thud.
We'll go here with Jose.
Brian, you've spoken of how you allow this team to steward themselves and to give themselves the guidance that they need and allowing them to be owners of the team. At this point, though, coming in, what is the message that you have to then bring into this team? Is it a reminder of how good they are, or is it something else?
I think you have to be reality-based, that this performance wasn't good enough. We will follow our protocol that I've been using for many years. We will have a tough film session on Tuesday, and we will show them the mistakes, but we'll also balance that off by saying, okay, look, these are some of the learning moments. It's not just you're not good, you're not doing this. It's not that type of environment that we want to focus on. It's about how can we be better? And so we'll balance that with maybe a couple highlights of, some half chances, and then we'll focus on Minnesota again, because we have to move past this. The week leading up to the Open Cup semifinal, we might go back to some of the tape here from this game just to get them prepared.
Let me just take one here via Zoom, and then we have 2 follow-ons here in the room, okay? Justin, please take it away.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for your time. You had a lot of success against LAFC in those first few years of their existence, but it seems like since Cherundolo has been appointed, Sounders haven't been able to find a win, against LAFC. I'm wondering if you see any difference between the Bob Bradley era and the Cherundolo era now, and kind of what has made them more difficult to beat in these last few years.
Well, they're different coaches, different styles, different teams. LAFC is a good team, no doubt about it. We've certainly had our share of success of them early, like you said, but right now it's the pendulum swinging in their favor.
Brian, Seattle has been outscored 8-1 against LAFC this season. What would you like the team to change ahead of the next match against them? Would you like to switch up the tactical approach that you saw today? And what do you make of the
tactical approach at Starfire is going to be different. We'll try and prevent an early goal, and then let's see how the game plays out.
Brian, can you share a little bit about what tipped you to go with Fry in goal today?
Just Steph is still the #1 goalkeeper, and Andrew has made a big statement. He's a tremendous goalkeeper. I don't fault Steph for the 3 goals. Not much he could have done on him. Certainly the first one, Steph made a tremendous save to keep us in it there. I think it was at 1-0. He kept us in it with a great save. It was a tough choice, Jada. The best compliment I could have given Andrew Thomas was just that it was a hard conversation. But, Steph's still the #1.